Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taya and this is Taya's Turning Pages. Happy New Year and cheers to 2024. I hope you guys are doing well. I know it's been a long time since I've uploaded a video, so I'm really sorry about that. I'm not going to give you all the same speech as to where I've been and what I've been dealing with since 2023. If you've been a consistent viewer, then you know to an extent that I've been having a little bit of issues with my mental health and, you know, still dealing with it. I'm going to try my hardest to be as consistent as possible this year. Y'all are really going to have to bear with me. Like I said, my mental health ebbs and flows similar to everybody else's. So I'm trying my best here. But to kick off 2024, this video, as you can tell by the title, is a book shopping vlog. And I'm so excited because I have not been to Barnes & Noble in so long. I think the last time I went to Barnes & Noble is the last time that I filmed an actual Barnes & Noble shop with me vlog. I'll leave it linked up above in the card somewhere. So I'm actually filming this intro after I already shopped at Barnes & Noble because by the time I got here, it was pretty late. And if you watch my videos, then you know I like to get to these bookstores and like Target and all of that very early in the morning so that way I can beat the crowd. And I woke up a little bit late this morning, so I had to hurry up and get into that store and do what I could do. So with all of that out of the way, let's jump into the vlog.
Are you on your way? Are you coming soon to me? No parking in LA, so I'ma send an Uber to your place. It's my secret safe, safe with just you and me. We can't leave a trace. This is my favorite mistake. Oh, look in my eyes. Can you find the lies? Do you feel alive? Look in my eyes. Do you mind the lies? Do you feel alive? Look in my eyes. We both know it's wrong, but you're still coming over even when you're gone. The feeling just grows stronger. Should leave it alone, but you're still getting close. So we both know it's wrong. Can't keep this for long. All that's going on, put it in a song. Are you on your way? Are you coming soon to me? I'm getting impatient. Oh, look at what you do to me. Our secret's safe, so you're my favorite mistake. That's why we gotta keep it on the low. Girl at home, but she don't need to know what's going on and won't be on for long. Oh, look in my eyes. Can you find the lies? Do you feel alive? Look in my eyes. Do you mind the lies? Do you feel alive? Look in my eyes. We both know it's wrong, but you're still coming over even when you're gone. The feeling just
Alright y'all, so I finally made it out of Barnes & Noble, and I'm so happy that I went when I did because, like I mentioned in my intro, the Barnes & Noble crowd is real. But I got all of my books, as you can see here, and I'm actually just going to do a car haul because, I don't know, let's switch it up, right? Like, let's switch it up. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, this book haul is random as fuck, and there's really no theme to the books that I got. I just picked up really what spoke to me and the books that have been on my wish list for a while, and also what this location had in stock, because this is not the normal Barnes & Noble that I go to. I like it, but it's definitely not my preferred Barnes & Noble location. But because of me waking up late this morning, I had no choice but to come here. It is what it is. But yeah, this is a very random haul. And I also forgot to mention in my intro that I actually got Barnes & Noble gift cards from both my dad and my boyfriend. So I had $150 in Barnes & Noble gift card. We love to see it. Like, exactly, the way to my heart is books and fashion and juicy couture. Like, you know, for this video, books. I'm just really happy that I had these gift cards and that I got them over Christmas, because I didn't feel bad or guilty at all spending, you know, money on all of these books. Because, you know, when you go to Barnes & Noble, it's a luxury. Anyways, like I said, very random haul. The first thing that I have here is this XXL magazine featuring my girl, my girly, Big Lotto. No, but seriously, Lotto. The rapper Lotto. Again, if you're a consistent viewer, then you know how much I love female rap, specifically Lotto. She's one of my favorite rap girls, especially like new and upcoming, or maybe not new and upcoming because she definitely been around for a minute, but she's one of my favorite like current rap girls. So I saw this in the magazine section and I decided to pick it up because it was only $5.99. And I mentioned this in a few videos back, but I like to collect magazines of my favorite artists. So I have a lot of Selena magazines, I have a lot of Beyonce magazines, I have some Lotto magazines, Meg Thee Stallion, and I'm really happy because Lotto is eating on this cover. One thing about my girl, she gonna eat a photo shoot up, okay? Like, rip her out the plastic, she been acting what? Exactly, like, she looks so good. So yeah, this is the first thing that I picked up. So getting into the actual books, the next book that I have here is this book, which is called Mermaids, The Myths, Legends, and Lore by Sky Alexander. So I thought that this book was so interesting and I couldn't pass it up. Unfortunately, the lighting in here is like blowing it out and I can't change my camera settings right now, y'all. I'm so sorry because my battery is dying and I don't want to mess with anything. But yeah, I found this book randomly on one of the shelves. I think it was near like the classics section, and they also had a book about fairies. But I have been interested in mermaids ever since I was a child. I love The Little Mermaid. That was like my introduction to mermaids and mermaid lore, which I think most people can attest to or agree with. But yeah, that was my introduction, and I have been on the mermaid train ever since, and I have no intentions of getting off. But I saw this book and I thought it was perfect for me. And as the subtitle suggests, it's pretty much a book that just has all of the myths, legends, lore, and history about mermaids and how they even came about, as well as sirens, things like that. So they do have a chapter in here about African and Indian mermaids, which I find very interesting, and I can't wait to dive into that one. But yeah, I just thought that this was, you know, a nice little keepsake to have if you're interested in mermaids or you're a mermaid enthusiast. This isn't a huge intimidating book. It's only about 214 pages, so that's not intimidating at all. So I'll definitely be able to read this and not just treat this as like a coffee table type of book. But yeah, I couldn't resist. And I have another mermaid book in my library, and it's about the actual like Little Mermaid, but I think it's the original Little Mermaid story. So the one written by Hans Christian Andersen, I think that's his name. This one is just an all-encompassing history. So really excited to have this in my collection now. The next book that I have here is My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. So this is not a new book. I feel like everyone and their mother has either read this book or has this on their TBR, and I'm no exception. I've been wanting to read this book for so long, and I just never got around to doing it. But I was watching another Booktuber's video. Oh, I think her name is Lucy. I'll leave her channel in my description box, but I was watching one of her videos and she talked about just how much this book meant to her and what she took away from it, and it just sounded so interesting after she talked about it. So I was like, yeah, I gotta hurry up and pick up this book and give it a read so that way I can form my own thoughts and analysis on it. And the only thing that I know about this book is that it follows a young girl who's unfortunately ruined, and also goes through, I think, just like a series of abuse at the hands of her teacher or one of her teachers. And I think you just follow her throughout the story of her trying to grapple with that. And so I know that this is going to be very intense, very heartbreaking, as the quote by people here says, but I'm really trying to push myself out of my comfort zone and read a lot of these hard, heavy-hitting books because they're important and these stories need to be told. I'm not sure when I'm actually going to get to this book, hopefully soon, but y'all know me. And then the second to last book that I have here is Before We Were Innocent by Ella Berman. So this is another book that has been on my TBR for quite some time, and I haven't really seen too many other people talk about this book. I'm not saying that it hasn't been circulating on Booktube or Bookstagram or BookTok, especially because I've been taking a hiatus. I'm not really sure what's popping in the book world right now, but I just feel like when this book first came out, I didn't see too many people talking about it. But I had this on my radar even before it got published. So the fact that I have it now, it's a little surreal. I really love this cover. Like, can we get into that for just a quick second? Again, this lighting is not really doing these books justice, but there you go. Hopefully you can, okay, there we go. So yeah, this is what the actual cover looks like, and I don't know, it's so simple but also just so effective. Like, I love the pink. I will at least read what's on the back here. So right here it says, a summer in Greece for three best friends ends in the unthinkable when only two return home. 10 years ago, after a sun-soaked summer spent in Greece, best friends Bess and Joni were cleared of having any involvement in their friend Evangeline's death. But that didn't stop the media from ripping apart their teenage lives like vultures. While the girls were never convicted, Joni, ever the opportunist, capitalized on her newfound infamy to become a motivational speaker. Bess, on the other hand, resolved to make her life as small and controlled as possible so she wouldn't risk losing everything all over again. And it almost worked. Except now, Joni needs a favor, and when she turns up at her old friend's doorstep, asking for an alibi, Bess has no choice but to say yes. She still owes her, but as the two friends try desperately to shake off the past, they have to face reality. Can you ever be an innocent woman when everyone wants you to be guilty? Interesting. I think this is going to be a very insightful read and very poignant. Even though this was in the fiction section, I'm curious to see if and how many like thrilling elements are going to be incorporated in this story, just given the nature of the actual topic. And there's actually a quote in here that I found very interesting as well. And it says, Before We Were Innocent takes a scenario we've seen in news reports. Young women abroad falsely accused of a horrific crime and gives it all the nuance and empathy the media never bothered with. A haunting and dazzling page turner. So when I read that quote, I was like, oh, okay, I'm really intrigued now. I definitely have to throw this into my cart because I remember when the Amanda Knox case happened and the trial itself, and I was so invested in that, and I was like researching it and reading up on it because I just couldn't believe how it spiraled out of control the way that it did. And for those of you who do not know, Amanda Knox is an American woman who ended up studying abroad in Italy during her college years, and unfortunately her roommate was murdered. But the Italian police felt as though Amanda and Amanda's boyfriend were the ones responsible for her roommate's murder, and so there was just like this media frenzy surrounding the case, and I think Amanda and her boyfriend were both convicted and charged of this murder, and they both spent some time in jail. I'm not 100% sure how many years she actually served because I stopped really looking into the case at a certain point, but when it was like first happening, I was all invested and I was all in. But like I said, she did spend some time in prison. She is a free woman now. She's been speaking out, especially at public engagement events, and just warning people of really making sure that they know their rights when they study abroad or when they go abroad. But also she's speaking out against the injustices she faced when it comes to the Italian media and the Italian government and officials. And so when I read that quote, I automatically thought of the Amanda Knox case, and so I'm wondering if the author is going to take some inspiration from that. So obviously I won't know until I actually dive into this book. I am really excited to see how this turns out nonetheless. The last book that I have here is my most anticipated. I gotta hurry it up because there's just too much movement going on in this parking lot. But the last book that I have here, which was the most anticipated book that I had on my wish list and that I was hoping I would find, is Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I've been hunting for this book in store for so long, and I cannot believe that I used to be able to find this book when I wasn't looking for it. But then of course when I finally like read the synopsis and heard other reviewers talk about it, I gotta add this to my cart. And I guess everybody else had the same idea because I have not been able to find this book in store since. My Target used to carry this. Haven't seen it, have not seen it. But this is a sports romance, OBS, as you can tell by the cover. We have a figure skater here and then a ice hockey player. So y'all know that I love my sports romances, and I specifically love my hockey romances. Another reason why I picked up this book is because I wanted to do a sports romance slash hockey romance reading vlog, and so I thought that this book would be perfect because I haven't read it yet. And I know that the wait for this one has pretty much already died down, but that's okay because y'all already know that I don't really care about any of that. I read whatever I want to read when I read it. So yeah, I still need to find one or two other books that I can include in that video, so definitely make sure you stay tuned for that. That's probably going to be my next video after this one. Everyone says that don't be fooled by this little cartoony cover because the characters get down. They don't play. Like the smut and the steam level in here, I heard, is like 11 out of 10. So of course I had to pick it up. Anyways, on the back here it says, he's the one thing she couldn't plan for. Anastasia Allen has worked her entire life for a shot at Team USA. It looks like everything is going according to plan when she gets a full scholarship to the University of California, Maple Hills, and lands a place on their competitive figure skating team. Nothing will stand in her way, not even the captain of the hockey team, Nate Hawkins. Nate's focus as team captain is on keeping his team on the ice, which is tricky when a facilities mishap means they are forced to share a rink with the figure skating team, including Anastasia, who clearly can't stand him. But when Anastasia's skating partner faces an uncertain future, she may have to look to Nate to take her shot. Sparks fly, but Anastasia isn't worried. Because she could never like a hockey player, right? Yep. So I can't wait to read this, y'all. I've heard mixed reviews about this book, but I feel like you're always gonna get mixed reviews on sports romances, especially hockey. It's just one of those subgenres, I feel like, in romance that is a bit oversaturated. And so I feel like people have found their favorite authors and favorite books within that genre. So when they do read other ones, they're like, no, nothing can top what I already know, what I already love. And I said this before, romance readers are harsh critics, okay? Especially when you start to get into the niches and the subgenres within romance, baby, even more critical. Either way, can't wait to dive into this one, and this is going to be probably the next book that I end up reading because, like I said, I want to do this reading vlog, and this book has been highly anticipated for me for a while. Those are all of the books that I picked up at Barnes & Noble today. I had a great time taking my time and shopping in there and just looking around and seeing what I missed out on these past couple of months, and just being able to, like I said, find the books that I have been looking for a while. So I know this was a random haul, like I already said, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me and my channel out. And lastly, please make sure you follow me on Bookstagram as well as Storygraph. I will leave all of that information linked down below, as well as at the end of the video like I always do. I will see you guys in my next video.